please welcome, representing Italy, Lucia Bronzetti. And please welcome, representing Greece, Valentini Grammatikopoulou.
A fabulous reception for both Valentini and Lucia, particularly for the young Greek player. And I just wonder if she can use the fans as well as Stefanos Tsitsipas did over the last few hours. It can make the difference out here. We shall see. But with the tie now poised, with Italy leading 2-1 in the 5-match series, with the women's singles and potentially deciding mix to come, there's an awful lot of tennis to be played over the next, 3 to 4 hours, potentially here at the Kinross Arena, what has turned into a very pleasant evening. Sam Smith alongside Casey Delacroix. Casey, lovely to have your company.
Likewise, Sam.
You're back in the pink. I like you in pink.
I am. I'm back in the hot pink. Both of these teams in shades of blue and white, ready to take battle tonight.
Ladies, just a couple of reminders. Serve clocks at the back and corners, and in behind me, down. What else? The rest is the same, like you play the whole time. If you need anything or something's wrong, let me know. At the end of the coin toss, please stay with Alfie facing Peter for a photo, okay? So, Alfie, your coin, what did you say you're gonna do? You're gonna ask Lucia? Valentini, serve? Decide, photo, please.
Well, what a night on the Kinross Arena. The great man was in the stadium a little earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone out for a break, but he does tend to get, have to say, just mobbed by autograph hunters wherever he goes in this part of the world. And this is everything the United Cup is meant to be. Players finding their absolute top level, playing for their country. And we'll take a little look now at the Italian number 2, Lucia Bronzetti, who had a wonderful season last year. She's ranked just outside the top 50. She's playing the tennis of her life. And she's born in Rimini, which is on the northeast Adriatic coast of Italy. Actually, similar part of the world to where Camilla Giorgi and Sara Errani grew up in their early years. Don't see too much of her in terms of, haven't seen a lot of her a few years ago on the main tour, but she really has made great strides in recent months. And Casey, I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we get into the match. But there was a late change just moments ago. The official Greek number 2, Despona Papamikael, was substituted for this woman, who is a contemporary of Bronzetti, just 25 years of age. She's been ranked inside the top 200 for and around that ranking for a very long time, almost since she came out of juniors. So we'll have to wonder why that has been the case. But certainly we sense a competitive match here tonight, despite the disparity in rankings. And I just wonder if Greece can level the tie. Interestingly, it is Valentini who has won their only 2 meetings. The first at the US Open qualifying back in 2021. That was in the opening round. And she came back from a set down to win 6-4 in the decider, but then it was very comfortable in the Vancouver WTA 125. That is a tour challenger event, and it was straight sets. So given the scoreline, that makes things rather interesting, Casey, here.
Certainly does. I was just having some dinner myself and saw Grammatikopoulou in some match gear, and I just wondered whether or not we would see a change dependent on the Stefanos and Matteo match. But here we are, and as you said, that head-to-head's really interesting, and I have to say, Lucia Bronzetti, I certainly feel favours a clay court. We know that she likes to play on the clay, and her game style's probably more suited, and perhaps it was a match-up as well, because Grammatikopoulou hasn't played yet in this United Cup, but it's been Papa Mikhail that's played. But here we are tonight, and a head-to-head of 2-0 is a good confidence booster going to a match like this.
But still, the win predictor would say that it's Bronzetti very much the favourite. So just a couple of minutes away from the fourth match of 5 in this tie between Greece and Italy. Semi-finals of the United Cup. Who will meet Team USA in tomorrow's final? They have just joined us, a very late switch for the Greeks. The actual official Greek number 2, Despina Papamikhail, and I spent quite a long time today with Mark Philippoussis just making sure that I was able to deliver that name in a respectful and correct fashion. She has been switched to the Greek number 3, whose name I have not practiced to the same extent. But given the head-to-head, I think maybe you can understand why that has happened. And it was a late switch, maybe tactical. But there's every chance that this may go down to the deciding mix, so we could be in for a late one here.
It's a really big moment for these women, knowing the score line in terms of matches 2-1 favouring Italy right now. So it is, it's a massive moment. The crowd is huge. The atmosphere courtside for that previous match was massive, and I do wonder that head-to-head, as well as Grammatikopoulou, I feel has the personality to perhaps enjoy this stage slightly more. I wonder if that's just the change that Greece needed to make.
Ready, play. Valentini.
Well, what a time to have to come and play your very first match on this Ken Rosewell Arena. And I have to say, Papamikhail has had a couple of good wins in the group stage and city finals, so well played in over in Perth. So it's a gamble. Valentini, it's a lovely name, isn't it, Valentini? If I ever have a child, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, I might add
Valentini.
it to my list as well, actually.
Yeah, Valentini.
I think I've got enough children, though. No more.
So early troubles for the young woman who hails from Kilkis, which is not too far from Thessaloniki, about a 6-hour drive north of Athens. Actually, that's Eleni Danilidou country, former top 20 female player from Greece, one of their best ever. Just what the Italians needed, just to keep everything calm out here. And you would think that Bronzetti would love to stay in front and just calm the crowd down. And it's always a little, can be a little flat, kind of, as you've had a big match as we've had. Most of the fans have gone out, but in about 10 minutes they'll be back. So this is a good time for Bronzetti to get a lead and just keeping control out here. The Greeks and the Italians, it's going to be crazy.
It is, and you were right. After the next 2 games, the crowd will come back in, and Grammatikopoulou won the coin toss and actually elected to serve. So I thought that was an interesting choice. A lot of players, if they haven't played a match, she hasn't this season so far, often like to receive, but a confident move, but unfortunately not holding her serve. But a poor one. Yes. I probably would have liked to have seen her just return, swing out on a few returns, because this is a big moment for these young women.
Well, Lucia trying to follow in the footsteps of so many wonderful Italian players: Francesca Schiavone, Flavia Panetta, Roberta Vinci, Silvia Farina. There's just been enormous numbers of them over the years.
Huge amount of depth from the Italians, and champions, Grand Slam champions, Billie Jean King Cup champions.
Before the Panetta and Schiavone generation, there was another great cluster of players, Raffaella Reggi. She was fantastic, top 20. Pretty fiery, I have to say. But they just have a history of producing so many good players, both men and women.
Was a nice forehand, pushed off the back of the court with that one, just tried to get a bit more depth, and then was able to get some good width on that forehand.
Just the start the Italians needed if they're going to seal this tie. Babsy, you're courtside. I was going to go down to you at one love, but I completely forgot. I have to say, I do apologise.
How can you forget me?
I know. You can have a go at me later.
All right, I will.
I hadn't forgot about you.
But your thoughts will be even more meaningful a game later.
Well, you know, Bronzetti, she seems to have it all covered, has settled her nerves, because that would have not an easy situation for her to suddenly find out that she was going to play a different player. She's definitely the better one, the better ranked one. I think she also has a bit of experience, because she played on the big center court in Brisbane, which wasn't as big, the Pat Rafter arena, but still, you know, she was out there. And for Valentini, I think this is quite overwhelming, and if she doesn't get on that scoreboard fast, things could go one way.
15. 13.
There really is a busyness to Bronzetti, who had such a fabulous season last year, vaulted from 145 in the world to just outside the top 50. Parked at 54 at the moment, at a career high ranking, so everything really did click last season after many, many years actually, in the 300s and the 400s coming out of juniors. Eyeing up a double break right here. Feels like there's been a lot more belief in the game of Bronzetti. Do see it quite often coming out of juniors. A few years where it can take them to settle on tour, 23, 24. They start to really believe and get settled, playing week in, week out. We're going rather rapidly, and before you can say Stefanos Tsitsipas, Lucia Bronzetti is 3-love up in this first set double break. That was a good jump start, wasn't it, before the fans all come flooding back in. It's been great here tonight. This is what this arena should be. 10,500 when it's full, under the canvas. Is that what we call it? Can we call it the canvas? Doesn't seem really like a roof. Quite appropriate for a 35 million Australian dollar structure. It's not an awning, is it? But
we've needed it this week. We've had rain and...
but technically it's on a roof because the stadium isn't sealed.
Let's go with canvas then.
Okay. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it casual.
Ladies and gentlemen, find your seats quickly, please. Thank you. Time.
You know what also the problem is when you are a little bit nervous, your feet, they don't work. You're usually just a little bit slower, and that's what Grammatikopoulou, I got it out, didn't I? Cannot afford, and I know that feeling, because when I got nervous, I got kind of stuck and on the ground and a little bit slower.
Yeah, you feel like you're stuck in mud and you feel like your legs are so heavy. And you have to, I don't know about you, Bubsy, but I always remember feeling like I had to make a conscious effort to be extra physical to the ball and making sure you had those really small adjustment steps around the ball just to get that adrenaline and sweat and all those nerves out of your body.
Exactly.
because I'm looking at Grammatikopoulou at the moment and I feel like there's a lot of nervous energy. I'm feeling like she's rushing and things are happening very quickly.
And Bronzetti's playing at a good tempo. She's not daft out here, is she? She's reeling things along rather rapidly.
And it's also not a great feeling when you're out there on a big stage like this. That first game, getting on that scoreboard is so critical because it can tend to feel so out of reach the more the match and the games go on. Steph out there, though, with the iPad. Hopefully he can find something. Not sure he even showered, do you think? Straight back out here.
Well, that's what the United Cup is all about. The men and the women competing for their country together, practicing alongside one another. We had her catch warming up Magdalene this morning, or vice versa. Or if you're the Americans, they seem to spend all their time in the escape rooms. That's what they're doing tonight, apparently. They're probably not watching this.
I'm actually surprised that they all made it out every time of the escape room.
Have you done one before, Sam?
What do you think?
That's a no. Can I answer that?
Yeah, of course.
Definite no.
There's no chance. She's played this absolutely right, hasn't she, Bronzetti, given absolutely nothing away. And worth mentioning, if you weren't with us earlier, she's lost their 2 prior meetings in the last couple of years. This is not someone she's beaten before. As I walked into the commentary box, Todd Woodbridge and Mark Philippoussis were still here wrapping up, and they were just blown away by the level of the tennis between Berrettini and Tsitsipas. That bodes well for the Australian Open, just over a week away.
Better point there from Grammatikopoulou. Just went a couple of balls hard and fast through the middle, and that's always a really great option when you are down on the scoreboard. You're perhaps feeling nervous, just to free your shoulders a bit and just feel like you can swing through the ball. So an opportunity here to get on the scoreboard.
Tell me if I'm going really off course here, but Bronzetti reminds me slightly sort of the physique and sometimes the way she looks a little, the expressions of Alize Kone.
Oh, I thought you were going to say someone else.
Okay, that's not a good sign.
I see it though.
Okay,
I do see it.
for,
No, I
for
do see
bailing me. Who are you thinking?
I actually was thinking the stature and that of Simona Halep. Obviously not as fit and as in terms of physique, but
I'm not seeing that at all. I have to say,
Okay.
Casey, I'm nowhere near that. I'm sticking with the French
well,
player,
Cornet, I
Elise
feel like
Cornet.
Cornet's much taller than Bronzetti, but I'll have to check that.
Is it the looks or is it the game style? What are you comparing her? I mean, what is it?
Papa's completely bemused,
I'm
courtside.
lost. Trying to find it.
Some good news for the Greeks at last, and right on cue as the fans and the flags are back in this Ken Rosewell arena. But it's Bronzetti pulling out to a 4-1 lead in this first set.
Όταν είσαι σε άμυνα, δεν χρειάζεται να πάει μπάλα βαθιά. Όταν είσαι σε άμυνα, κάνει ένα slice, κάτι μέσα. Πήγα να κάνει τροψό, δεν έχει τροψό. Πήγα να κάνει επίθεση, δεν σου κάνει μια αμφωνικό μπαλάκι. Έχει τόσο ωραίο slice. Το μπαλάκι μείνει χαμηλά εδώ. Κρατά το χαμηλά και είσαι ok. Το επόμενο μπαλάκι που του φέρνεις μέσα, το επόμενο μπαλάκι σε μια από τις δύο γωνίες και έχεις πάρει το πόντο. Και εσύ, let's go. Όμως το return, δώσεις τον χρόνο που χρειάζεσαι εσύ. Σου ανεβαίνει σερβίς βολέ. Σου ανεβαίνει μπροστά. Δώσε τον χρόνο που χρειάζεσαι. Δώσε τον χρόνο που χρειάζεσαι. Ξεκίνα τον πόντο. Το drive και το drive. Έτσι στη μέση. Δεσμεύσου να πάνε όλα τα μπαλάκια μέσα.
Ken Rosewell Arena, it's all on the line. Greece taking on Italy. See the scoreline bottom right of your picture. Best of 5 matches, it's first to 3. And Valentini, the Greek number 2, has to win to keep it alive tonight on what has been such a dramatic evening here at the Ken Rosewell Arena.
Well, this is a really important game, return of service game for Grammatikopoulou. Bronzetti, I wouldn't say has one of the strongest serves, but at the moment she's winning 86% of first serves and 100% of second serves, and she really just needs to make a lot of returns here or hit winners like that. Just put a little bit of pressure and a little bit of doubt on the serve of Bronzetti.
Sorry, Barbara, go ahead.
There will be a moment, I think, where Bronzetti is going to get a little bit tired. I've seen it in the last week a couple of times in her matches. She has quite a few ups and downs in her self-confidence on the court, and this could be a little opening here as well.
Well, something's happening here, and I think, forget the gulf in ranking, there's almost 150 spots between them. They're very similar ages. For most of their careers coming out of junior, they were at the same sort of ranking. In fact, Valentini was the better player for many of those years. It's only been in recent times that Bronzetti zoomed up the computer.
And also, sometimes there's head-to-heads that I don't overly feel are relevant to certain situations, depending on where players are at in their career. But this one, for me, is very relevant. This 2-0 in favour of Grammatikopoulou is definitely something that is important in regards to this matchup.
Both those matches on hard courts. Everything started for Bronzetti 12 months ago. She qualified in Adelaide and then again in Melbourne. The first time she'd ever played the main draw of a slam. Lost in the second round to Ash Barty, but won her first ever Grand Slam match. So that was special, and spent a lot of the year qualifying and making her way on the tour. Sometimes you don't know why it suddenly all comes together, but you know, she made the final of Palermo in Italy. She mixed and matched her tour with, you know, WTA 250s, which are the sort of third level down, 1,500s, 250s, some big challenges. I thought she was quite clever with her schedule. Interesting to see if she can stay around this 50 mark. That's confident tennis. And she maintains her double break advantage.
Team Italy leads 5 games to 1.
Yeah, some really great play here from Zetti to fight her way back through this game. Two great off forehands here. Oh, that was a tricky one to take as a forehand, but she managed to find enough space and didn't overplay it. Grammatikopoulou had committed to the other side, so very solid game to get out of that one, Bronzetti. Grammatikopoulou has been with the Greek team in Perth practicing. Saw her there a few days before the event started. She's had a lot of time on the practice court, but nothing can emulate what you feel and out here on a match court.
Might just take her a set to settle, and then we'll see what happens.
15.
It's a good hold from Team Greece, but it's Italy and Bronzetti in charge of this opening set.
Team Italy leads 5 games to 2.
So all going well for the Italians so far in this opening set and in this evening session. And in a few days' time, the tennis world will move on from Sydney. Everyone heading off to Adelaide, many going to Melbourne to play in the Kooyong exhibition or just practicing. So we'll get our last glimpses of the Opera House. Of course, you're a local, Casey, so you can pop down and see it whenever you want.
I do love going down to the Opera Bar and having a nice beverage at the end of the day, and it's beautiful down there.
Valentini close tonight, but not quite, so this tie remains alive. This is what we love, isn't it? Players coaching others, men, the women all having an input in their matches. They've all got used to it very quickly at this United Cup. Had a look back at Bronzetti's early career when she was a junior, and really didn't feature. She was in the 800s. You know, she wasn't the star when she was younger. She didn't actually play internationally. She played top Italian junior tournaments, you know, some that were on the ITF tour, but apart from probably Italy, Croatia, I mean, just tournaments she could drive to. She didn't really go anywhere and didn't do particularly well. Just over half an hour, and the Italian at set point.
It's a really good message, isn't it, Sam? I really say that to a lot of up-and-comers sometimes, to try and find more localized level-based play. As long as you're getting good competitive matches and you're out there competing,
And don't worry if you're not a star as a junior. Look, you can be.
Not.
She'll be top 50 soon. Took a while, but you can do it. Well, in the end, closed out very neatly, and it was a one-sided set. And Lucia Bronzetti putting the Italians in good order here as she takes the opener by 6 games to 2.
Hai visto il taglio rovescio? Un punto? 30-0. È tentato lungo. 0 che rivedrà perché ridice.
So not too much to pick the bones out of there, but we'll get you to run your eye across the numbers, Casey.
Yeah, set 1 summary. First serve points won there. You can see 87% for Bronzetti. When she made that first serve, she was winning a huge amount of points in comparison to Grammatikopoulou. Just felt like there was a lot of unforced errors that came off the racket from Grammatikopoulou from the very beginning, probably beginning with a few nerves, and then even as the set went on, just trying to find her groove out here. And it is not easy, but Bronzetti really was steady from the very beginning. Some really lovely play, but just a good intensity and a good, really good discipline throughout that first set to do what she needed to do to get that first set under her belt.
Babsy, what are you seeing from down there? Any thoughts for Valentini going into the second set?
You know what? I think she settled down a little bit, and what she has to do now is think of, okay, what did I do when I've actually beaten Bronzetti in the past, and go back to those basics and start pretty much from scratch. She has a smile on her face. That's good.
It's all on the line here for Team Greece at this very first United Cup. They did so well to battle their way out of Perth.
Time. Second set, Team Greece, to serve.
It's been a great intensity about this young woman tonight. It's been impressive. Must have been hard not to get too caught up in the men's singles. Berrettini's Tsitsipas.
They're definitely some career-defining moments, and I feel like often in these team competitions they can come about. And for Bronzetti, as you said, the mentality of how she was preparing for this match, knowing she was, one, not sure of the outcome of the match prior to this, then also who her opponent was going to be. And they're all skills that you learn throughout your career that can put you in really good stead, as we see Matteo and Steph out after that incredible match.
Two top tenors going at it. I think we've always got to remember the Italians were the best runners-up. You know, they were pretty much out, and they just squeaked in by a set over Croatia. So everything's a bonus for them.
But it has been impressive from Bronzetti up until this point so far. She's come out, she's played with good margin, with good depth. Adjusted very quickly to her opponent, who she wasn't sure who she was going to be playing. That is a good service game there.
Yeah, that will give Team Greece a boost. So the stadium has reset. Stefanos is in the house. And it's going to be a comeback. This is the time it'll happen.
Yeah, and you can tell that Grammatikopoulou, she's moving a little bit better as well. I believe that with her ground stroke, she has quite a bit of firepower as well. She's shown it as well from time to time in that first set, but we better keep an eye on her here.
Well, you're closest, Babsy, so that's your job.
I watch him like a hawk.
You're on patrol down there.
Yep, I am. I won't miss anything, I
know
promise.
you won't.
I feel like if there's one thing that Grammatikopoulou could do is if she can get it hard and fast into that forehand of Bronzetti, and I feel like she may just lose a little bit of confidence on that side, and that could perhaps just throw her off balance slightly. So far, she's been very good off both wings.
Some I've seen her play is on a clay court, where she does look more comfortable. I mean, there's quite a radical difference, but between her on the surface. And you just wonder if things start to go slightly awry, if she can steady down and just hold it together as she would on a slower surface. We'll see. Through in a double fault in her last service game, also to the deuce court. Chance to break here.
It's also the forehand side of Grammatikopoulou that you can see just with her take back and swing. If you can also get it with some depth on that side, that's, yeah, I just feel both. They can, women, their forehands can break down, but they can also be quite dangerous on that side if they set the point up correctly.
so far. She's played well under pressure, fended off 3 break points in the match to date. That's a good sign for the 24-year-old Lucia.
Thank you.
Whenever Grammatikopoulou hits the forehand powerful with a lot of depth, that's when Bronzetti has problems. And listen to this, girls. The Greeks have woken up.
Not easy under the lights.
We've seen that a number of times, haven't we? The ball goes up. Almost better to let it drop and hit a bounce smash, but just so front on then also.
It was pretty square, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was trying to gloss over it
She was
on the
very
replay. I thought either you're going to say it or I'm going to say it. So Bronzetti might escape here. It's a good hold. She just stops the momentum from heading Greece's way. I think we've also got to remember, yes, she's by far the higher ranked player. She wasn't for a long time. She was very much a sort of contemporary of Valentini, but she's not used to this sort of stage either. First time on the Ken Rosewell. Yeah, it's not a full house, but there's an awful lot of fans in tonight.
Lock it in.
Whenever she comes to the net, it's really hard for her to control the volley. It's really, I feel like she doesn't expect the ball to come back. It's really interesting.
Yeah, she hasn't looked comfortable, has she? Any time she's come forward.
beautiful plays.
30-14.
You really can't fault her to this point, Bronzetti. She's been clutch in terms of her managing her strokes, her intensity, her discipline.
It's that kind of net, and we've seen it an awful lot. It's tough, it really is, but Bronzetti won't mind. As Team Italy now lead by a set and 2-1.
La semifinale. Te la ricordi la risposta? È andata decisa, è andata intensa. Bravo.
Arena racing the very first, the United Cup. And over the last 10 days, goodness me, it's gone quickly. Since we began on the 29th of December, we've seen some fabulous performances. Nicely done. And there is a lot of pressure on her. If this were to go down to the mix, you'd potentially have Berrettini, Trevisan against Tsitsipas and Sakkari. The Greeks are probably going to that, the favourites.
Yeah, they've played really well throughout this United Cup, have the Greeks together. To this point, Bronzetti's been very good. The question for me is, can Grammatikopoulou, a player ranked 200, can she find a way right here in this moment to start to make a few more returns, start to accumulate some pressure and challenge Bronzetti and see what she can produce to close out this match? Because I'm not sure what you're both feeling, but I do feel there has to be a moment where Bronzetti thinks about the moment, thinks about the occasion. She's been very good up until now.
Great hustle. Now at last a successful sortie to the net, yes. It's got to get one of them.
Yes.
Can't fault her for continuing to try. It's clearly something that she would like to do, is to finish points at the net. It's a very good 1-2 punch there. She's been catching her out wide on that juice court for much of this match. That one just going slightly more body. Again, looking for that forehand, as she's done after the serve, so 67% of the time throughout this match.
That's an impressive hold. And she maintains her break advantage.
Just been talking about particularly the juice court return of the serve placement and the return of Grammatikopoulou, and you can see there on the juice court 100% points won when Bronzetti has gone out wide on that first serve. And a lot of that has been either unreturnable or she's really opened up the court, and even to the ad side, she's winning 86% of the time. So really getting stretched out wide and being very successful on serve is Bronzetti.
And keep doing that until until something changes?
Absolutely, it's working. And Grammatikopoulou hasn't really changed up her return position, and she's getting unstuck on return, and we're seeing a very, very confident Bronzetti right now.
It's a lot though, isn't it, for Lucia? Very inexperienced on the big stage and at this level to lead Italy into tomorrow's final. It's a lot.
40-15.
Something for Team Greece as Valentini stays in touch in this second set, but still down a break to Bronzetti. Oh, is one break going to be enough? I just feel this. I don't know how you are, Casey and Babs, but just get the sense that something might just happen here in the next 10 minutes or so.
The closer Grammatikopoulou can keep it on the scoreboard, the better of a chance she has. I mean, Bronzetti's last couple of shots, she was really going for them, couldn't find the court at all, and there's always an opening in every single match. It doesn't matter what the score is, you just have to realize it, and then you have to be right there for the momentum to change. And Bronzetti, I mean, look at her, she still looks a little bit tense out there. It's a big match for her.
I worry about the misses. The misses are large, aren't they? We'll see. A lot more to come here. Very much hope you're enjoying this tie between Greece and Italy. So much on the line in this particular match. Can Valentini draw level and take it to the mixed doubles, where highly likely we'll see Tsitsipas and Sakari. This place would go completely bonkers if that happened. That's more like it.
Love 50.
A really well constructed point here. Looking for a forehand, pulled it inside in and did a much better job on the volley. Kept the head nice and still. Didn't take a big backswing and just did what she needed. So that was the first point that Grammatikopoulou has won when Bronzetti's gone out wide on that deuce court. So not sure if it was mentioned or not, but certainly covered that one just slightly more. Again, made the return, which was great. She's definitely shifted over. The way that Bronzetti serves with that real slider, she can cover that tee, even if it's pretty close to that service tee, because it's going to come into the body of Grammatikopoulou, but just missed the next ball.
Bronzetti very aware that in their first meeting, group number 2 came back from a set down to win. That was in the first round of the qualifying at the US Open. That ended up being a really big week for Valentini. She actually made it through the main draw and won a round. Nicely done. Kept her nerve.
40-13.
I do just feel if Grammatikopoulou can somehow find a way to break the serve of Bronzetti, I feel like that could throw her just slightly and force her to think about her service game. She hasn't had to so far.
Had a chance, didn't she, early on in this set. She is inching Italy towards Sunday's final.
Team Italy leads 4-2.
Well, a pressure point is either a break point or a point that leads to a break point. So, love 30, 15, 30, 30 all. And Bronzetti certainly getting the better of them.
Love. Valentino.
Starting to look more comfortable. She's got time here, just has to keep it to the one break.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? She needs to hold here and then really try and get that break back. Try and get into the head of Bronzetti a little bit.
She qualified for the Australian Open, excuse me, for the US Open a couple of years ago. Also made it to the main draw of the French last year. So she has her moments, and this is the time for her to deliver her best tennis. Valentini hangs on for Team Greece, but Bronzetti still up a break in this second set.
difficile dire la prima, ma questo è grazie a
Time.
Do the trick. How important was that opening point?
Yeah, Bronzetti was, she was too scared to come to the net. That's how it shows you how much that point meant to her. She was so cautious. She didn't want to finish it off there because she doesn't feel 100% comfortable at the net, but that was an important point.
Can't actually remember her in the forecourt in this match. If she can get through here, this is, and we've mentioned a lot that it was only sort of last season that she's got herself into the top 100 and towards 50. If she can win here, this is major for her career this season in terms of confidence and how she sees herself as a tennis player.
Especially on a hard court as well, where she's obviously had more of a success on a clay court, but what she's done here at the United Cup and just in terms of matches and match play, and this is her 4th singles match, and I think that helps.
Yep, she's won 2 of 3 so far. Not been good enough tonight, has it?
New balls, please.
The great number 2. And the Italians 1 game away now from booking their place in tomorrow's final.
5 games to 3.
I love to see Matteo. He's so invested. He's not a great watcher, is he? Because he loses so much energy.
Yeah, he has been impressive in the team zone, has Matteo Berrettini, just as he has been on the court as well.
He's a big presence, isn't he? Literally. Wonderful.
That's the joy of...
And Martina Trevisan did a brilliant job over Maria Sakkari last night. That's why they're in this position now. And Bronzetti finished it here.
And that is the joy of these team competitions, is that what you just mentioned, everyone playing their part, whether that be someone sitting in the team zone all week and making sure that everyone's got a hit up or a warm up or what they need. It's exactly what it is about, and Team Italy have been one of the strongest in terms of team camaraderie, being out there, supporting each other.
Having fun.
Very important. So new balls before this service game, and the best thing that Grammatikopoulou can do right now is to win this service game and really ask the question of Bronzetti, can you close out this match? Can you play as good a service game as you have throughout this entire match?
That's 15.
They're primed, aren't they, in the Italian team zone.
Oh, they're ready to explode out of that team zone, but not quite yet. That one was very close to the line, but she made it.
Let's pass it.
Again, great application from Bronzetti. You can't put a price on that. Just get the sense from the 24-year-old. She really has an understanding of what she can do on the court and what she's not quite ready to do as yet. She kind of, it's like swimming between the flags. She kind of really knows where her limits are. Italy are into the final. In the end, it was straightforward, but there were so many nerves at play tonight. This was so big for Lucia Bronzetti, but she wins in the end in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3. And you spent so much time with the Greek team over in Perth. They must be shattered because they've come so far. But you almost feel with Sakkari losing to Trevisan last night, it was very difficult for them to pull it all the way back.
It was always going to be the key match, wasn't it? And we knew that, and that was an incredible match last night. But Steph played his part tonight, but it was Lucia Bronzetti, and that is a match that she will remember for the rest of her life. That joy, that excitement between the men and the women is just awesome. I know, she's going to play.
Yeah, don't
she's still got one more match.
Too much. She's back out tomorrow against the Americans. She'll be taking on Madison Keys, Trevisan, the might of Jessica Pegula, and we'll have a Fritz and Berrettini matchup. And Tiafo Musetti. That's the lineup we expect. That's two very balanced teams going at it for the very first United Cup. The trophies are around here somewhere. I think they've tucked it away because it's rather lovely. It might disappear otherwise.
She was impressive tonight,
She
She certainly played some wonderful tennis. And let's not forget, she had lost to Grammatikopoulou twice previously. So she came out tonight and she really played a solid match, and so much joy from the team zone of Team Italy.
Got to save it. There's a final tomorrow. But well done, Lucia Bronzetti.
That is awesome.
Okay, let's hear from her. She's with Babsi.
Lucia, congratulations. What a match, what a moment. You have just booked a spot for Italy in tomorrow's United Cup final. I mean, how special is that? And you've done it.
Yeah, it's a special moment to bring this important point to Italy, and we are in final. We are a great team, we are great friends, and I'm so excited, so happy right now, and I don't have words.
And on a personal, well, this is for you. Lucia, and on a personal note, I think that was an important win for you as well, because every time you played against Valentini before, you have lost against her. Why did it work today?
Yeah, I play.
That's what happens to stars.
My God, I hate him. I played against her 4 times. 2 I won and 2 I lost. And so it was not easy, also because was, I mean, the very important point. I'm scared.
I'm going to tell you when he comes.
And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself.
How difficult was it, because only a few minutes before you found out that you were going to play against Valentini, to change that, you know? And how hard was it to keep your emotions right there and not get too nervous?
Yeah, I prepared the match with another opponent, so yeah, it was a difficult more, but I saw her warming up in the gym before the match, so yeah, it was not easy, but I knew her before, so I knew how I have to play, and yeah, that's it.
Lucia, have you ever got a few words for the Sydney crowd as well, because they did support you?
Yeah, it's very important to have Italian fans here. And all the other people cheering for me. So, yeah, it's special.
You can be very proud of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow in the final.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, she slipped in a couple of other matches. Those times when those extra times that she played Valentini must have been in some really obscure junior or satellite event on tour. At this level, she had never beaten her opponent tonight, and she did it in the most difficult of circumstances, trying to take Italy to the final, knowing that if she lost, they would be the underdogs in the mixed doubles, and all that hard work could be undone. They'll be back tomorrow to face the Americans, but right now they can enjoy this evening. And in terms of the level of the match, maybe it wasn't the finest that we've seen of this United Cup, but there was so much on it. And just take us through what we've seen tonight.
There was so much riding on this match, as you said, but the thing for me is Grammatikopoulou didn't manage to get a break throughout that entire match. And first serve points won Bronzetti. She stuck to some particular patterns throughout that match, and she wasn't troubled on serve, and therefore I felt like it just had this flow-on effect in terms of how she felt comfortable from the back of the court. She was getting some forehands after the serve, and she really played just some solid and disciplined tennis against someone that really didn't have a plan B in terms of what she wanted to do out there tonight. But just so happy for this moment for Lucia. I know how special it can feel when you play for your country to get them through to the final. Such a memorable match to play alongside the men as well. It's really spectacular, isn't it?
My thanks to you, Casey, and also to Babsy courtside. Tonight belong to Italy. We will see them in tomorrow's final. Not too far away though, we'll have one more match for you, and it will be, I think I gave that away, the mixed doubles. We'll see you in just a few minutes.